Chapter 15, Nar Shaddaa. While the Mantis was traversing through hyperspace, BD watched the monitors while Marin pulled me aside.
How are you feeling?
Focused. You?
Ready to take down the enemy.
The Mantis came to a slow pace as we exited hyperspace. Marin and I rushed to the front to see if any Imperial ships were nearby. So far we were safe. As we descended onto the planet, Marin used her powers to cover the ship. We found a spot on the roof near an abandoned skyscraper, which was away from the Corellian sector.
How are we going to navigate from here?
BD-1 hopped onto my forearm, allowing me to use his visor. I zoomed in close on the streets, watching the crowd.
Did you find anything?
I see a few bounty hunters heading towards another sector.
All right. I'll follow your lead.
Never thought I'd hear you say that.
Don't get so used to it.
BD-1 hopped off my shoulder and into the briefcase as planned. Marin wore a long red cloak, while I threw my poncho on. Once we exited the Mantis and descended into the city, Marin and I pulled our hoods up. Nar Shaddaa was one of the most dangerous planets in the galaxy. Bounty hunters and Hutt clans gather here to exchange illegal contraband. From what I read on the news, it's one of the highest crime-ridden cities. My eyes quickly caught onto a bounty hunter conversing with two Bedlam raiders.
Looks like we found our target.
Let's keep our distance. We ended up following the group into a main town square. They were exchanging credits for a bit until one of the Bedlam raiders walked away.
Where do you think he is going?
He's either picking up grease or something else.
We should wait for a while, just to be safe.
Marin guided me to an outdoor cantina. While the droids served us a few drinks, my eyes stayed focused on the bounty hunters.
You look tense.
That's because I am.
You will waste energy doing that.
I took my eyes off them for a moment to focus on Marin. Is there something you want to tell me?
I'm just trying to see what it is you're exactly planning here.
What's that supposed to mean?
Cal, I have known you for a long time. You have a knack for getting into trouble.
I'm planning as we go. We don't exactly have a lead on grease yet.
Maybe BD can find something. Why don't you have him scan?
Good point. Hey, BD, can you... Oh, no.
What's wrong?
I looked around frantically for BD, but the case was nowhere to be found. How could I have been so careless?
Cal! This way!
I followed Marin into a nearby alleyway. We ran for a good mile until she spotted the thief. Is that a Rodian?
Yes, but lucky for us, he won't get very far.
Marin used her magic to pull the Rodian toward us. He proceeded to squeal like a banshee to attract attention, but just before he could release another cry for help, I shot him twice with my blaster.
Do you think anyone hurt him?
Let's not wait around to find out. I bent down, removing the case from his grasp. Once I opened it, BD practically jumped into my arms. I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to lose you back there. I gently set BD-1 on my lap, but something else caught my attention. The Rodian was grasping something in his left hand.
Is that what I think it is?
Yeah, that's a lightsaber. Something about this saber seemed familiar. As I hesitantly picked it up, I could sense a force echo from the saber. I vividly remembered who this belonged to. Even though it's been years, I could still distinctly remember this moment in time. I was back in the Jedi Temple practicing my dueling skills. Master DePaul wanted me to present what I've learned thus far to the class. I'd be going against one other Padawan to see if I was ready for the trials. As I traversed into the training room, other Jedi Masters stood around patiently. My confidence slowly dwindled as I realized the situation. If I don't pass, Master DePaul might lose me as a student. He never told me directly, but a few weeks ago I overheard him talking to other Jedi Council members. They were considering a different teacher for me since I was behind on my saber skills. Part of that was my fault. I was so entranced by my new rare ability that I set my saber practices aside. There's no going back now. I have to prove myself to everyone here that I'm ready. I slowly grasped my saber, taking a deep breath as the ignition went off. Now keeping my focus on the Padawan, I charged at full speed. Each attack was evaded until he force-pushed me back. I got back up on my feet, quickly holding my saber up in defense. Our blades clashed for a while, back and forth, until my saber was suddenly swiped from my hand. The other Padawan had successfully disarmed me, but I refused to accept this result. I used the Force to grasp his saber and toss it aside. Instead of fighting with blades, I tackled him to the ground. Other Jedi Masters rushed over to pull us off each other. Master T'Pol began scolding me harshly in front of the others, but I was so frustrated I couldn't see straight. Instead of listening to what either Jedi Master had to say, I ran out of the room. It wasn't long, however, until one Jedi found me. I gazed upon Master Kit Fisto. He didn't show much facial expressions at first until I stood up.
I have some news for you, young Padawan.
Let me guess. You're my new master now.
I am not, but your master did send me over to talk to you.
All I want is to be a great Jedi.
Well, for starters, controlling your emotions does help. But it also can aid you in battle.
What do you mean? We're not supposed to show any type of emotion.
Let us walk, young Kestis.
Master Fisto brought me to one of the outdoor balconies of the Jedi Temple. All I could hear were the sounds of flying speeders.
What do you see?
Everyday traffic.
Look harder. What else?
I see. The sun, buildings, people. It's reflection. A reminder.
A reminder that life goes on and will continue to, which is why you need to focus on your reality. If you let yourself be consumed by fear or anger, it will deter you to the dark side.
So how do I control it?
There will be times where you will not be able to. However, the key is learning to use it as a tactic instead of suppressing it.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I see great potential in you, Cal Kestis. You possess an ability not many Jedi have. But you are also strong in the Force. What happened today is the result of letting your anxieties get the best of you.
I was scared of failing, and I did.
You will fail many times. Even when you are knighted one day, life will continue to throw more hurdles your way.
Master Fisto ignited his lightsaber and slowly handed it to me.
That weapon is not what makes you a Jedi. We are peacekeepers who fight for the greater good in this galaxy. Do not fear your instincts, Cal. Embrace them.
As I held Kit Fisto's saber, a part of me couldn't help but smile. One day I'll become a great Jedi Knight just like him and Master T'Pol. Maybe someday I'll make a change.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. Because BT found a lead. We know where Grease is.
Let's not waste another minute. Come on. Marin used a portal to teleport us faster, but I could sense something was off as we jumped into the portal. Once we were safely out, I cautiously looked at our surroundings. We are not alone.
Your defeat is imminent.
Why did it have to be a DT sentry droid? Marin got into a fighting stance as she summoned her spear. Just as I was about to activate my lightsaber, another droid jumped in. Oh, come on!
Your end is near.
Both of the droid's arms went in reverse, switching to a different weapon. My eyes widened once I realized they were about to send 2 rockets at us. Marin, run! We both ran in opposite directions to throw the droids off, but they aimed their rockets directly at Marin. I was close to get to the droids, but if I attempted to slice their arms with my saber, I could be blasted. Sorry about this, BD, but I've got no other option. Without giving BD any warning, I threw him full speed at the droids. Hack him, BD! Hurry! BD quickly got to work and zapped one of the DT Sentry droids' heads. He quickly got off and ran back towards me. The two droids began arguing, which soon turned into aggressive fighting. Now that they were distracted, Marin and I took them down. She plunged her spear into one of the droids' chest, while I sliced their mechanical arms and heads off. Please tell me Grease is nearby.
Are you kids gonna let me out of this cell or what?
Marin and I turned around to find Grease in a cell right above us. Really, Grease? You didn't care to say anything earlier? Marin unlocked the cell, allowing Grease to wander out. Alright, let's get back to the Mantis.
Get ready to jump. I'm opening a portal now. Kid, wait. There's something I need to tell you.
Can this wait till later? We're not exactly in the safest area right now.
No, this is important. I know where Aiden took the crystal.
You blockheads won't last 5 seconds against a Jedi. We're all gonna end up scrap and it'll be your fault.
We've got company.
Get in the portal. I'll hold them off. While I deflected a few blaster bolts, more droids began to appear and attack. Grease, get to the portal, now! More bolts came flying towards the portal, which forced Grease to jump in quickly. I hopped in shortly after. Once we were inside the Mantis, we took off and entered hyperspace.
Next time, let's not cut it so close.
Yeah. But we did it, right, Grease? Grease? I walked over to Grease, who was sitting on the couch. 2 of his left hands were held against his chest. My heart sank as I slowly moved them away. Oh no. Marin, quick! I need a med pack! Don't worry, Grease, I'll patch you up, okay? Come on, hang in there.
Kid, don't. It's done.
Marin tried to help Grease, but he pushed her hand aside.
Aiden. He's on Coruscant. Find him and finish the job.
Grease, we need you. Hang in there, please. Come on. With one final breath, Grease slowly closed his eyes. Marin and I looked at each other in disbelief. For a moment, we didn't say anything, until I heard Marin sniffle. I stood up and hugged her gently. I tried my hardest to stay strong for Marin, but I could feel a single tear roll down my cheek.